Welcome to the Lechtich Parsha podcast, where we delve into the Torah's timeless wisdom and uncover uplifting and empowering lessons tailored to the challenges of our generation.
A good day of Shabbos, Parshas Emor. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a wonderful, successful week. We all know it. The yeshiva annual dinner. We know how it goes. We arrive to a hall set up with a delicious, hot, fresh buffet. Charcuterie boards layered with cured meats of cuts that we can't pronounce. Orchestra, dessert tables, a bar stocked with spirits, mixers, garnishes, the works. And we sit down, ready to get comfortable. We start schmoozing with our fellow parent, standing to the same moisad, and they give their video presentation. They walk you through a day in yeshiva. They show you pictures of your son, and the ambiance is just great. It's a great vibe. And you shed a tear, you don't shed a tear, but you're emotional, you're impacted. You find the whole experience meaningful, impactful, and you're happy. And as the program usually goes, after the video presentation, the Manal gets up to share a few words. Imagine the following scene. The Manal gets up and he starts telling the crowd, you should know how amazing how we saw this video presentation and how it really depicted, it really gave over the standard day in yeshiva. This is really what's going on over here. The Talmidim, the Bachim, they're learning, they're steiging, they're growing, they have an attachment, a closeness with their Abbeim. They've been Adam Lechaver, stellar. And it's truly a beautiful matziv, a beautiful place of ruchnius, of growth to be in. And all the parents are beaming with happiness. They're so happy and excited and feel honored to be part of such an institution. Suddenly, the Manal takes a left turn and says the following. It says, as many of you know, there's an issue that we're dealing with now, which is the afternoon hours. And even though in the morning, during the Limudei Kodesh, the children are booming, there's a kol Torah in the Bis Medrash, the kids are happy, they're so respectful, the midas, they're thriving. But in the afternoon, we're falling very short. And the mechutzafim, they're tremendously disrespectful to the teachers, and the teachers complain that they want to quit. And that if the yeshiva doesn't get their act together, they're all going to leave. And the Manal acknowledges this issue, and he tells the parents, don't worry, be rest assured that we're going to take care of this issue. And in due time, we will come up with a viable resolution. All the parents are scratching their heads, bewildered, baffled, puzzled. What's going on over here? Why on earth would the Manal of the yeshiva address this issue during this forum? Obviously, there's a time and place for this to be addressed, but certainly during the yeshiva dinner, a time where the goal is to boost up the momentum, raise the bar of excitement, it's so out of place and distasteful to expose this issue. In our Parshas Emor, we encounter Kemat, the same issue, a very similar issue. The Torah Akdosha, Hashem's Torah, the mind of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the blueprint of the world, where Hashem gives us the tools. He paves the path for every Yid from the beginning of the creation until Netzach Netzachim, to reach spiritual highs, to come to perfection, to improve our midas, to attain the greatest perfection we can. In the middle of it all, in our parsha, Parshas Emor, at the end of the parsha, Hashem relates the story of the Makal, the blasphemer, the son of Shlomis Bas Divri, and how he used the Shema Mefurish, the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to curse another Yid. And for that, he was pelted to death. Fragt Rabbeinu Bechaya, why on earth would the Torah give over such information, such brazen disrespect, utter disregard, the greatest level of chutzpah, the greatest slap in the face for HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Memela, if we would have found this story in a Chazal, in an obscure Medrash or something, okay. But in the Torah, the place that every Yid is meant to open and learn from it and become great from it, why would HaKadosh Baruch Hu, why would Hashem decide that this is something that should be in the Torah? How on earth can we grow from this episode? What can we take out? Rabbeinu Bechaya enlightens us with an extraordinary pshat, and he tells us as follows, that from the Mekalel, from the blasphemer, from the son of Shlomo Bas Divri, we could learn how to make a berachah. We could learn how we must perform Avodas Hashem. And he explains as follows, says Rabbeinu Bechaya, the Gemara in Sanhedrin Daf Nun Vav tells us, the only way, it's a condition, the only way for a person to incur the misa, the death penalty of being pelted, is only if he uses the Sheim HaMefarish. If he doesn't, he could say a curse all he wants all day long, but if he doesn't use that specific name, then he's not chayiv. He's not subject to this penalty. Says Rabbeinu Bechaya, just like the Mekalel, he took Hashem's name, he brought him into his presence, and he used that name to be Mekalel. The Torah is teaching us, we learn out from here how we give a berachah, how we thank Hashem. That we can't just stam make a bracha. We can't just stam say bracha to Hashem, mumble it on the way out, on the way in, saying all the words, not saying all the words, with kavana, not kavana. We have to bring Hashem into our zone. We have to bring Hashem, we have to inculcate Him into the matziv of making a bracha. Such a big yesod, such a fundamental, that sometimes we're on cruise control. We're about to chew a piece of gum. We're about to bite into a slice of pizza. We're about to make hamoitzi on Shabbos, and everything's at a rote. Everything is just routine. But the aside over here that the Torah is teaching us specifically with this Maisa, with this episode of the Mekalel, is to teach us that just like the way he made a proper, quote-unquote, curse using Hashem's name, we too, when we're trying to do good, when we're trying to come closer to the Bnei Shalom, we have to bring him into the zone. We have to bring him in to the scene. We have to bring him before us. We have to create that matzav of Shivisi Hashem Negdi Samid. Hashem is constantly in our midst, constantly in our presence. And although Rabbeinu Bechaya said this yesod in the inyan of brachas, if I may suggest that we can apply this to all facets of Yiddishkeit. There's so many times all day long that we're doing mitzvahs, kema, from the time we wake up till the time we go to bed. We're busy with Avodas Hashem. We're busy bringing Hashem nachas, doing His mitzvahs, learning His Torah, davening, giving tzedakah, doing chesed. There are endless opportunities throughout the day. Even when we're not doing things physically, even when we're thinking, when we're pondering, we're contemplating. These are all venues of how to become closer to Hashem. And when we bring Hashem, when we make Him, quote unquote, kaviyachol, alive, when we bring Him into the experience, into the mitzvah of whatever we're doing, how much greater, how much more elevated will those maisim, will those actions, will that Torah, will that davening be? There's an expression of stop surviving and start living. And this really hits the crux of that. Many times, especially after many years, as we get older, we just kind of go into cruise control. We do things by rote. But when we remember this yesod of Rabbeinu Bechaya, of inculcating Hashem, making Him real, creating a zone before doing mitzvahs, just thinking about Hashem, always, before mitzvahs, whatever they may be, how much greater, how much more meaningful, how much more potent will these mitzvahs be when we're doing it mamash for the Bnei Shalom, we're mamash living with Hashem all day long. And as we approach the day, the Heilige Yontif of Kabbalah Satira, when we restart, when we re-sign the contract of being the Amma Nivchar, what a great schus it is, and should be, when we bring Hashem more into our lives, when He's more of a living mitzias in our lives. How much greater will that Kabbalah be? How much stronger will our connection to our Creator be? And when we have that, when we work on that, when we invest in making our lives every moment greater, more kaddish, holier, and more connected, not only will it be a great investment for our future, for our Olam Haba, but Amir Hashem, we will see the happiness, we'll see the gratification, and true simcha in Olam Hazeh, in our day-to-day living, because living a life for the Kadosh Baruch Hu is the highest and greatest and happiest life possible. I hope you enjoyed. I wish you a wonderful Shabbos, and I thank you for listening.
I thank each and every one of you for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and I wish you a wonderful Shabbos.